like. I'll give you love you want all summer and after fall I'll keep.
Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here.
Hello!
This is the Hailey Bailey
Show!
I am Hailey.
I'm Bailey.
And this is our podcast.
Yes!
So today...
Episode 2.
We made it to number 2.
Yes.
Alright, so today, in honor of back to school, we are talking about school systems.
Okay, let's get into it.
First things first, did you like school?
I actually really... It's easy now for me to say I enjoyed it, because looking back, like, why wouldn't you?
Right.
But, like, then, like, who really enjoyed school? Like,
Right.
Did you enjoy school?
No.
Exactly.
I liked the social part of school. So, like, going to sporting events or, like, after school, like, dances, prom, things like that. But as far as, like, subjects and, like, going, no, I hated it.
You're like, no.
I was not a school...
about that.
Not a school kid. How long ago were you in high school?
Oh my god, I have to do math. I can't do math. Okay, so I graduated in 2007.
Okay. I graduated in 2019.
Ah!
And then I personally didn't go to college. It wasn't for me. I didn't want to go.
So, I was definitely one of those students. Like, I did really well in school, and I'm sorry. And I definitely thought I would go to college, but then, like, kind of just happens. And I was like, well, I'll just take a break. So I just went to, like, a technical school for 2 years, and then I got my associates. And then after that, I was like, this stuff sucks.
In high school, I was like, no, this isn't for me. If I can get past high school, I'll be good. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I don't want to go to college and spend the money on it. And that's how I found myself down here.
I think if I were to go back to school, I would probably still do, like, a trade. Or
Absolutely. I don't want to just go into, you know, like,
I'm not like that
marketing and then have to, like, find some kind of...
I'm also, like, not smart enough anymore.
Definitely not anymore. I mean, I was smart in school. Like, I had a 3.6 GPA. But now...
I mean, barely. You've been barely out of school.
I know. It feels... I'm going on 3 years and it feels like 10.
Like that? And how long has it been since I graduated? I will literally pull out a calculator.
10, 13?
13 years? I don't know.
Because 2017 would be 10.
19, 20, 21? Wait, what?
2017, you would have been out of school for 10 years.
Yeah.
So we're in 2021. The school year just started.
Okay.
So 10.
I can't math. Like, literally.
15?
Okay, 15.
Yeah.
Should I pull out a calculator? Do you see the problems that we are having? Like, basic math, I just can't. And you know what? When I was in school...
Oh, I was close. It's 14 years, guys.
So, when I was in school, they would always be like, you know, you're not gonna... You think you're gonna have a calculator on you.
Right?
Joke's on you. Which, honestly...
I have my calculator 24/7.
God, you make me sick, you lucky. Honestly, it's worse, though, because now I'm like, my math skills are just...
Oh, yeah.
They're not
Constantly.
there.
Alright, so you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Juicy questions. Obviously,
let's go.
It's going to be different, like how we learned the dress code, transportation, like things like that. So
I mean, when you graduated 3 years ago,
yeah,
and I graduated 14 years ago,
that's crazy.
It's nuts.
Like, all right. So my first question.
Okay.
What was your dress code like?
So for us, I think very normal, regular, like, dress codes for schools. Like, no really short shorts or, like, honestly, no tank tops. It started out very basic, but as the years went on, and, like, when I got into my senior year of high school, it was like they got stricter as fashion changed.
Yeah.
Because, like, before, no one was wearing, like, holes in their jeans.
Right.
And then my senior year of high school, we weren't allowed to have, like, holes in certain parts of our jeans. And so I noticed that, like, towards the end of it, they were a lot stricter.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go by just high school because that's what I remember the most. My freshman year, they were strict. No holes above the knee, no midriff. I mean, the fingertip length with the shorts and skirts and everything. Shoulders were definitely a no, which I still don't understand.
Yeah, that's a freaking issue for you boys. Like, get a grip.
For real. And then, like, no hats, no bandanas.
Yeah,
like
so,
that.
yeah.
But by the time I got to my senior year, it was very, very loose. It was a very loose dress code.
So it was opposite of me.
I'd be walking through the halls and I'd see girls with crop tops and spaghetti straps and the biggest holes in their jeans that I wouldn't even consider them jeans. And nobody got yelled at. Because it was just, because that was the trend.
So they didn't even, like, try to go against
the biggest part of our dress code was you have to look presentable for school. So they looked presentable to a point. They just were matching the trends.
And they didn't stop you?
Nope.
No, when I went to school, they were like, absolutely not.
I hardly broke dress code. I only broke dress code the last day of my senior year.
You were like, screw it!
I was like, whatever! I wore a cropped off the shoulder shirt. I was like, tell me to leave. I don't have to come back anyway.
Bye!
Yeah. Did you ever break dress code?
I'm sure.
Right.
I think, honestly, it was probably because something was too short and I had to change into my gym clothes.
Yeah. So when I was a freshman, if you broke dress code, they'd have a box of school sweats that you had to go put on if you didn't have stuff in your locker.
Well, that was nice.
Right. Well, it wasn't cute stuff. No, it was probably disgusting.
But at least it didn't make your parents come drop something off.
Yeah, that's true.
But honestly, I think I remember at one point you could change into your gym clothes, and I think they stopped that.
Really?
I think they, like, wanted you to be in trouble, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So they made your parent bring something.
That's crazy. I don't think my parent ever, or like any parent at our school ever had to bring anything. Especially my senior year. Like I said, nobody cared.
It was just like, whatever.
A lot of the seniors, when I was a senior, wore pajama pants every single day, and nobody cared. Like, all the athletes wore pajama pants to school every single day. They'd roll out of bed and just come in whatever they were wearing.
See, I feel like if at our school, if you rolled out of bed in whatever you were wearing, you could wear that. You could wear your pajamas. They didn't care. It was when if it was something like on one of the girls, or it was like too short, or that was when they were like, no. But you could honestly look however you wanted as long as you weren't showing too much skin.
Absolutely. Yeah. I didn't like a dress code, but I never broke it, so I never had a problem.
I mean, I think dress codes are kind of dumb.
Yeah, I feel like we're already in a public school. If I wanted to be told how to dress, I would have gone to a private school, I guess.
And it's not my fault. Like, some people are just like so like intrigued with other shoulders that they can't finish their schoolwork.
Right, or you're gonna be too distracted because I have a hat on my head. Like,
yeah, I just think I don't know. It just makes me feel some type of way.
No, I get it.
I wonder what it's like now, because like, you know those like really cute schoolgirl like skirts, like those pleated ones?
They're coming back.
They're short too.
They're short.
They're really short. So I wonder like what they're doing now.
Well, I have always thought about like how short cheerleading uniforms are.
Yeah, they're short.
And they just like
and they can walk around.
Didn't care because it was uniform.
So I'm like, why does it matter? Like, who cares?
Right. Like,
if they can wear it, then why? My thing is, I hate it when people pick and choose. Like,
right. Like, they're representing the school, but if I wear a cute skirt and look presentable, but it's too short, I have to go change.
Yeah. See, that's why rules are. I don't know. Bleh.
I understand.
Boo rules. We need rules. Just some rules are weird.
So, what was your state testing like? Did you have state testing? Okay,
so the only testing I can really remember, we had EOGs.
I have no idea what that is.
So that was like our big testing in school. So it was like our end of year kind of testing. Yeah. That's what I remember. And we did it like on, was it Scantrons? Did you guys do Scantrons?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I had Scantrons.
Something in common. And then obviously the regular like piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like midterms, finals, things like that.
Regular stuff.
So we had, I didn't take them, but we had OGTs.
I have no idea what
for
that is.
in like April. I never had to take them. My sister, who's 2 years older than me, she was the last grade that took them. It was kind of just like, if you pass this, like, you're good to go for graduation, I guess.
Oh, that's weird.
But I had something called air tests. You had to get 18 points from these air tests to graduate high school. So you needed 21 credits, 18 points to graduate. You
I've
had to
never heard of that.
I had to take 6 tests. I had to take English 9, so my freshman year, English 10, biology, chemistry, algebra, and geometry. I think there were 7 because I also had to take government. And each test you could get up to 4 points, depending on how good or bad you did. And then you needed cumulatively 18 points
To graduate.
to graduate.
I've never heard of that.
So by the end or by the middle of your junior year, you're done with all the tests and you find out if you have to retake them all, because you can't just retake ones that you did bad on, you have to retake all of them. I got this slip of paper in the middle of class.
Paper.
Saying at this time you are not eligible to graduate because you do not have the amount of points necessary. I was freaking out because I'm like, why? Like, I can't graduate, and I had super bad anxiety at the time. So I was like, I can't graduate. Like, a junior in high school. They sent this to me also 2 weeks before my 17th birthday. So I was like,
Great.
yeah. So they were like, but you can retake every single test and try to get more points. So that my points didn't get taken away. I just had to add to them.
Okay.
And take every single test over again.
That's horrible.
So I am now a junior in high school having to retake math courses that I took 2 years ago. I didn't even remember what I was doing in math at the time. Let alone what I learned 2 years ago. So it was a lot. And they told me, you have to retake all these tests on November 30th, which was my 17th birthday. I was like, this is the worst. I was like, this is the worst birthday ever. Yeah. But yeah, obviously, I retook all the tests. I got enough points. Obviously, I graduated. But
That's
it was
crazy.
like, that's a lot to put on a kid.
I wonder if there's like a way for them to do it to where it's like a yearly thing. Like, hey, you need this many points.
Yeah.
Instead of like waiting till you think you're like fine to graduate, and they're like, oh, by the way, you're not.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was like November of my junior year. Like, I'm like set to these last classes. My junior year were like the most important, and then I would take 2 more classes and I'd be good to go. Like, the rest of my classes would just be fillers. And then I got that I got the paper. It was like this slip of paper.
Where you're like, okay.
Yeah, and I was like,
no, but you graduated.
I graduated. And they don't, now, it's probably worse now with like the pandemic and everything, but they don't teach you, how do I want to say this? To teach you the material. They teach you to prepare you for these tests.
They don't teach you.
So they don't actually teach you so you can learn things. They teach you for what's going to be on the test.
So you're just like memorizing answers.
Yeah. So you're memorizing answers, formulas for the test.
And you don't know why.
Yeah.
There's no like reason behind it. It's just like, oh, it's going to be on the test. So I
and
have to know
all
the answer.
of these tests were online. I had to take every single one of these tests online. Which, testing or learning any kind of thing in high school is very hard online.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I never did good with online stuff, especially tests. It hurt my eyes, especially because I recently had gotten contacts. So, like, it hurt my eyes to stare at the screen for that long. I got distracted, and I'm a slow reader, so it would, like, fluster me even more with tests, because I didn't want to, like, take too long and then miss, like, a whole section of questions, because I was taking too long to read the material. So, I'm also just not a good tester.
You're having like a meltdown staring at the screen.
Yeah. So, I do not agree with, like, the whole testing thing, and this happens every April.
That's like a lot.
Like, at my school, they changed around the whole entire schedule. So we went from having 9 periods a day 50 minutes a class to having like a block schedule like college.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have all of our odd number periods one day and all of our even number periods the next to take these tests.
Dang.
Yeah, so they would be hour and a half long classes instead of
That's
like
how-
college.
That's how in our high school we did one semester,
Mm-hmm.
4 classes, and then the other semester, 4 classes.
That's crazy.
In my middle school year, we did 8 classes.
Mm-hmm.
So in high school, like they switched.
Yeah,
it.
my school we had 9 periods.
Mm-hmm.
And then depending on if you had a full like a full year class or a half semester class, they would just switch them out.
Okay.
So like I had, let's see, my senior year, I had 4th period, like a study period first semester, and then I took global issues second semester in that same period.
Okay.
So I lost my study hall, but I gained my global issues class.
I've never had a study hall, so I'm like.
See, so I was talking to Olivia, our other coworker, about this too. So I was talking to her about this, and I was like rambling on about a study hall, and she was like, "I'm gonna stop you. What is a study hall?"
I've never heard like.
So that might
something
be
here.
like like a northern thing. So study hall is just like a free period for you to like get extra homework done. If you need help in other classes with other teachers, you could go to them. If you want to be a teacher aide, which I was always a teacher aide because I didn't like sitting in there, you could go to another class and help out another teacher.
Oh,
Like,
see, that counted as like that was like a period for us. Like if you were a teacher's aide, but we were there the whole time helping them.
yeah.
But
So you didn't have to, but you could go and ask one of your teachers, "Hey, do you need a teacher aide for this period?" And they would say yes or no, and then they'd give you a slip to take to your study hall teacher, and then instead of going to study hall,
You would help them out.
go to their class instead.
Okay. See, when we did that, you didn't have an option. You were there the whole time with them. But
Yeah.
oh, so interesting. What a waste of a period.
I know, right? My senior year, I had 2 study halls.
Are you serious? What? Can you just like go? Can you do half days?
I wish.
We had half days.
No, not unless you were a college, like pre-college.
Then
Because
you
you know
could
how
have
you know how kids in high school can take like college classes now.
Yeah.
So you could go and take half your classes in college and then come and take the rest of your classes at the high
That's
school.
such a good idea.
The only thing we had as seniors was we could leave 9th period. If you
Okay.
didn't have a class that you needed to attend, you could leave 9th period.
Okay.
I had an a cappella group class that 9th period, so I couldn't leave either way.
But at least it was a fun class.
But yeah, at least I wasn't like in math.
Yeah,
I
like,
could have
screw
been
this.
at home. Yeah. So going along with like the whole online stuff, how did you guys learn? Like, did you have chalkboards? Did you have whiteboards? Smart boards?
So my first time seeing a, okay, let me think. Did we have chalkboards in middle school?
Or like the little like lamp.
We had projectors.
Yeah.
Oh my god, So we had projectors. I've had chalkboards, and I think maybe, I don't remember middle school, definitely high school, I think we had whiteboards, but we definitely had like projectors.
Yeah.
And we did like very little. I had no online classes. Nothing online. The only time that I really like in high school had a test to take on the computer was if I was in a computers class.
Yeah, right.
So other than that, like it was paper, board, like turn it in, print it out, and turn it in.
print it out, turn it in.
Print it out and turn it in. So nothing online.
So you don't know what a smart board is? Did you ever use a smart
I think,
board?
we got a smart when I went to college. I got a
Okay,
smart
yeah.
board.
So I remember seeing a smart board for the first time when I was in 3rd grade.
That's disgusting.
So it was 2008, 2009.
Oh my god!
was the first time that when we started like using smart boards. So I had a smart board all throughout high school. My old school teachers still used the whiteboard or the chalkboard, but we definitely were whiteboard. I did have one teacher use a projector. When I was
She's the lamb.
when I was in 7th grade, he was definitely into the projector, but for the most part, yeah, we used smart boards. The projector was actually on the ceiling and then went into and you could draw on the board and then like erase it away and be gone. But we also had, it was called Google Classroom.
We did not have that.
So that was fairly new. Like my junior year is when that came out, where you would get your assignment online through, you would have to sign into your teacher's class, like online. They'd send you assignments through there. You'd have to do them and then online and then turn them back in by like a certain date.
See, that, I didn't experience that until I went to college. And then we had Blackboard.
Yeah.
And then obviously online
See,
schooling.
we never used Blackboard.
Yeah,
we were
always
definitely
used.
Google Docs we used.
Okay.
And that's where I turned I shared all my presentations, all my essays and papers,
On Google
speeches on Google Docs, and I shared it with my teacher. And then she would pull it up on her computer on the smartboard. So we all, when we did presentations in class, we would all have to share them with our teacher,
And then
she would pull them all up on her computer that was linked to the smartboard, and we would present them from the smartboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fancy pants.
Nuts. It was nuts. And then my junior year, I was a junior, so they didn't want to give us computers because we were only going to be there for 2 more years.
Oh.
But they had assigned from 7th grade up until sophomores their own little Chromebooks.
Yeah.
So now everyone at my school has a Chromebook that they just carry around. And
Never
do all of
experienced that.
yeah, all their stuff with. So that was nuts.
I still remember,
Definitely online, like everything.
I remember like being in middle school and like, you know, online was like a very new thing.
Yeah.
Like having a computer in your home, and like I remember like there were some times in the day my parents would be like, you can't go online right now, because then we wouldn't have a phone because it would connect. Wow. Yeah. So then if someone was calling, it wouldn't go through because we were on the internet.
Wow, that's crazy. See, like when I was a senior, it was like unheard of to not have internet in your house.
No, it was
like some of my
new.
teachers didn't understand, like, how can you not do this assignment? Don't you have internet at your house?
See, if that was us today or back then, it'd be a very like no one expected you to do anything at home on the computer because it just wasn't a thing.
Yeah. I also had, when I was in 8th grade, my pre-algebra class was all online. Our textbooks were online.
Crazy.
Yeah, I hated it. That was the worst grade I've ever gotten in a class ever. Because our tests were online, our homework was online, so I didn't like have a thing in front of me that I could look at, and like, but we still had to show our work, so I still had to get a piece of paper and like write everything down. But yeah.
See, I wouldn't like that either.
In high school, we had textbooks, but we still did a lot of our stuff. A lot of our stuff was online.
Nuts.
It was weird, but like normal.
That's crazy.
Like if we didn't use online, I feel like it would be weird in school.
It's crazy because thinking about it, like looking back, I'm like, that would be weird for me.
How did you hear about like important information when you were in school?
Obviously, no computer.
Right.
Nothing was emailed. It was like announcements, which kind of sucked because I could never hear. Or we always got like kind of like a newsletter.
Like in the mail?
Yeah. Like in the mail. Or like our homeroom teacher. Did you, like when you were in like high school, did you start off your morning like in homeroom? Okay, so our homeroom class, a lot of times they would tell us like what's going on, like what's scheduled, but nothing emailed ever.
That's crazy.
No email.
That is nuts.
No, nothing on the
That's
computer.
so weird. It's when especially in high school, we got a lot of our information. This is gonna sound crazy, from our high school's Twitter account.
Wait, what?
So obviously snow days down here aren't a thing.
No.
But snow days up in Ohio are very much a thing. If it was too cold, we would get called off. If we had too much snow, we'd get called off. If we couldn't drive to school, we'd get called off.
And you would find that information out via tweet.
So they would call all of our parents. Obviously, they'd go down and they'd call and tell us, like, you know, we have a snow day tomorrow on such and such day. But all the kids would go on Twitter and find out, like, beforehand.
See, no.
Yeah,
No.
we got emails sent out. We got a lot of phone calls. They'd call all the parents individually.
Dang, ours was like an automated phone call.
No, they was like, yes, let Hailey know that school is canceled.
They would
because
call
of a
you guys
snow day.
one by one. What? No, ours was all automated. It'd be like an
Yeah.
automated phone call. School's canceled, or there's a 2-hour delay
Mm-hmm. So how did you hear of like sporting events
at school.
at school? Yeah, we also had Twitter for our sporting events because we had a student section in school for mainly football games and basketball games was the big ones, and we'd have themes for them. So like blackout, where you'd wear all black, or you'd wear all white.
So to find out about the themes,
You would go to, we had our own Twitter account that the seniors that year ran, and then they'd pass it down to the next seniors, and then so on. So when you're a senior, you get to call all the shots and do all the themes for the student section. So we had a Twitter account called Buck Nation, where we learned all of the themes, who we were playing that day, what you were supposed to wear, what time you were supposed to be there.
wow.
Yeah, we did that for everything. Mainly football and basketball, because that's the two that were the biggest that we focused on. But like, we went to soccer games, baseball. We didn't really go to baseball, but volleyball, soccer. But yeah, we got most of our information off of Twitter.
Oh my gosh, that is insane.
Twitter. We did have an Instagram, but
Nothing really.
Twitter was huge when I was in high school.
I don't even
use it. I don't use it now because it gets too like political. But
Yeah.
huge.
No, I think when I was in high school, like even it was MySpace. Oh God, jeez. And then when I was a senior, you had to get invited because it was like, you know, Facebook was a very college thing.
Oh yeah.
So you had to get invited by someone to go on Facebook. So like some people had Facebook and a lot of people didn't. But ours was mostly MySpace. And we found out no information.
Yeah, they had, like at the beginning of school, you know, they'd send out papers. We always got our report cards like in the mail or like handed out at school via paper. But like for like important need to know information, they'd call or they'd put it on Twitter.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to know, what kind of like issues did your school deal with? If you need an example, I will tell you.
Okay, tell me an example.
So obviously, with the age, we had a huge issue with phones, like use of phones. Like we used our phones too much. We were constantly on them, texting or like sending Snapchats, just messing around. Those iMessage games were really big my sophomore and junior year of high school, so people would constantly be playing those in class.
Wow.
It was so bad to the point where they made all of our teachers get like these like phone holders where at the beginning of
You had to put it in
the
there.
school year you'd get assigned a number and you'd have to put it in the little cubby.
Okay, so when we got our cell phones, you didn't even have internet on it.
Right.
You like, I mean, I like don't remember how texting worked. Like I'm pretty sure you had to pay like 10 cents.
Probably.
So I don't even think like some people had their phones and maybe it was a little bit of an issue, but it was never to that extent. The earliest issue I remember at school were like Pokemon cards. And have you heard of like Tamagotchis?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tamagotchis and nanos. Oh, another big thing, it was passing notes. Like writing notes.
Oh yeah, see, we just texted all of our notes to each other.
It was like it was an art form, writing a note to somebody, and like you had to fold it really all cool kind of ways, and then people were using all these different colored gel pens.
I
and
love that.
So we would just be passing notes. So that was the most like I remember getting in trouble for something. And
see, I remember my senior year, I had a class with my best friend. And if he needed to tell me something, he would literally just text me, and then he would like try to get my attention from across the classroom and be like, "Look at your phone, like look at what I just texted."
No.
Yeah, and then I'd pull up my phone and I'd text him, and I'd almost like laugh out loud, and then I'd text him back, and you just try not to get caught.
Like
it was one of those things where you had to turn the brightness all the way down and put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
Like I definitely remember texting, but it wasn't like no Snapchats.
Oh, that's bad. That we got in trouble for that a lot.
No, zero Snap. It was just texting.
Because people would want to, take pictures of their like teacher and then like put funny like things on them, like those filters.
What? No, we never.
I never did that, but that was definitely an issue.
Oh, I could see that being an issue for sure.
Yeah. Our other big issue, which I hate it. It was vaping. We had a huge issue with kids vaping in class. Or like in the bathrooms.
What? No.
We had to have a class by class assembly about it. We weren't bad, but like the grades under us
were bad.
Bad.
I don't even remember like cigarettes, because that would only be.
Well, and that smelled like. That smells.
Yeah.
These vapes that these kids had like smelled like fruity or like hand sanitizer.
So you could like sneak it.
Mm-hmm. It was easy to sneak it.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then you would just like, you would either keep this smoke like in your mouth, I guess, or you would just try to hide it like as best you can, like under your hand, like an
like
idiot.
is it for what?
Like I never did that because I never got into that, but it was definitely like a huge issue. Like we had to have multiple assemblies about it. Like
I could even still like see that being an issue now.
Oh, I guarantee you it's an issue. I bet TikTok is a huge issue.
Oh,
now at school.
See, yeah, I didn't even think
like
about
trying
that.
to like do TikToks in class, or like no, just TikTok.
Yeah, no, just on the TikTok.
Yeah.
No, but we never like if we had our phone, it was just for calling and texting. We had no.
Oh yeah, we had it
TikTok. Nothing.
It was so bad.
That's
so
crazy.
bad. I like can't remember not getting yelled at about our phones. That's how like
bad.
That's how bad it was.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
And then that went into after school too.
Mm-hmm.
So we always had our phones at after school stuff, but we'd have to make sure that we weren't taking pictures of the other teams, because then we would get in trouble for like taking pictures of other teams and like slander and stuff like that.
Oh, so they were like really strict.
Oh yeah, because our teachers hated that we had phones. But then on the other hand, sometimes we used our phones for like, so we had this thing called Kahoot. That we would, it was a study, it was like an online study thing where you would compete to try to see who knew the most like about the chapter that you were working on at the time.
That sounds fun.
So our teacher would just put in questions and then we would put it on the smartboard. We all had to connect through our phones and then answer it on our phones. So that like it didn't help. Because they were like, okay, get your phones out. Yeah, and then it'd just be sitting there, so it's hard as a, 16, 17-year-old kid, if your phone goes off, it's hard for you not to look at it.
No, you're going to look at it.
Right.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So I know we've talked a little bit about after-school events, but how were, like, football games and stuff for you guys? Did you go?
I went to football games.
Mm-hmm. And, like, did you go to any of your dances?
Mm-hmm. I went to a military ball, and then I went to both my.
Look at you.
I know. I went with a friend. I went to a military ball, and then I went to homecoming my freshman year. I went homecoming my senior year. Homecoming was not a thing.
I was just talking about this with Brittany, our boss.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge. This also might be like a northern thing, but it was such a big deal.
No, homecoming, like
such a big deal.
I feel like homecoming, like our big thing is like prom, which I'm sorry, prom is even bigger.
Prom is huge, like huge. Like you had to get a nail appointment. You had to find someone to do your hair, to do your makeup. I got a spray tan. Like my dress my senior year was pretty expensive. My shoes, like everything was such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers, like who are you going with? Who are you sitting with? Who are you going to take pictures with? Like everything was such a big deal, and with social media.
Oh yeah, see?
With like taking pictures was so important, because you were like, we have to go figure out who we're going to take pictures with so we can go post it on Instagram 2 hours after this.
Oh my gosh, no, I literally have like in the garage a bucket, and it's like all the pictures I took after like our junior prom.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it on camera, on film.
Yeah.
No one posted anything. Senior year, they were prom court.
Oh yeah, so
that's weird to me.
Yeah,
that is so weird.
I mean, it's normal to me because that's why
that is.
So the juniors is who came up with the theme for prom.
Mm-hmm.
Like we sent out all the invitations. I was on prom committee my junior year. So we sent out all the invitations. We came up with the theme, the food, the decorations.
I don't remember doing anything for.
So we, as juniors, were on prom court. I was on prom court as a junior. Got it, girl. I didn't win. One of my good friends won. But yeah, the juniors and then the seniors homecoming, it was just the girl. So we only had homecoming queen.
No king?
No king. We had snowball king, but we had homecoming queen.
That is weird.
That's not. I know that's not how they do it at my school anymore. But when I was in high school, that's how we did it.
Okay, so when we did it, so for homecoming, each grade would vote for someone to be on court.
Oh.
So they'd have like 3 people that you could vote from your 9th grade, 3 people from 10th grade, 11th, and your seniors would be homecoming king and queen.
Yeah.
So then juniors could not be on prom court. It was only seniors.
Right.
So my 9th grade year, I got nominated. I did not win. But my 12th grade, my senior year, I got homecoming queen. I did.
I'm not even shocked. I'm not even shocked.
So yeah, that's how we did it. So each grade had like a,
Yeah.
but I can't remember what it was called, like Duke and like
Princess.
and then king and queen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That might be how my school does it now, but definitely not when I was there.
I think it's so weird. Like homecoming, there was just like a queen for you.
It was just.
And then your snowball was a king.
I mean, we had escorts.
Uh-huh.
Like, so for my junior prom, it was a boy and a girl, so we had king and queen. So we all got partnered with a person from the guy's side. But with the homecoming and snowball, they had to find people to be escorts.
Oh.
So for snowball, I was an escort for one of the boys. But like we were like scrambling for people.
That's crazy.
For snowball.
So like dances were like really big, like with you guys, like school dances.
Yeah, they were a big deal.
I like literally did not.
I was so into it. I was like looking forward to it. Like I loved that whole week because we'd have Spirit Week like the whole week. So you would dress up as like something different. We had like ours were lame, but we had like crazy socks, like crazy hair, like pajamas.
I did like that about homecoming. That
so
was
I
really
liked
funny.
that way before I was in high school. Which I wish we still would have been able to do this. You got to like decorate your hallway. Because like
cute.
the seniors had their own hallway, the sophomores had their own hallway, and then you decorate it and then you would vote. We didn't do that, but
that would be cute.
I knew that it was done in the past, and one class ruined it for everyone.
You've always
Right,
won.
and then the homecoming game was always the best because you got to make floats. We had a parade. Did you guys do anything called Powder Puff?
We did have powder puff.
Okay, so that was the week of homecoming as well. So the girls would go and play football.
And then the guys would be the cheerleaders.
Well, no. The guys would just coach. For snowball, the guys played volleyball and the girls coached.
Oh, see, our powder puff, the girls would play football and the guys were the cheerleaders.
I wish.
It was cute.
I wish we'd done that.
Like, they were like cheering.
The guys just coached.
No, they would like come up with like cheers.
That is so cute.
It's so cute.
Ours is lame.
No, it's really cute. I don't even think I went to one though because I was a working lady.
I did. I was not. I went to everything.
I did not.
I did not miss a football game from my sophomore year on.
That's crazy.
So my sophomore year, one of my really good friends at the time was quarterback of the football team. So I went to every game and I was like, yeah. He was my date for snowball that year, or for homecoming that year too. So I went and watched him for all those games. And then my junior year, me and my one good friend got really, really into it. And her boyfriend was on the team at the time. So me and her would go, I'd paint his little number on her face, and we'd go and sit in the student section for all of those, and then that would become our thing. So then we went to every single one.
No, not me.
And we like pictures was huge with social media. You had to document that you were there. It was like this kind of like social like standard like rank like kind of thing. At least that's what I took from it.
I'm glad
being
that I
like
didn't have
older
that.
now
Yeah.
and out of high school. I'm like, because it was so important to me to take pictures. So I could post them later, so people knew that I was at the football game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, looking back, I'm like, that is not holy.
there was something wrong with me.
Oh my god.
No.
But yeah, it was like so important that I got a picture with someone.
And you had to share it.
And I had to post it.
That's insane. I think honestly, maybe that's why I didn't feel pressured to go. I mean, obviously if people were going, I wanted to go, but there were no like really pictures taken.
With homecoming and like snowball and all those things too, it was super important to me to take pictures with everyone that I knew. Oh my
gosh, no. I think homecoming, I went to the mall like the night before, and I went to like, what's that one store? Charlotte Russe? Charlotte Russe?
Yeah.
I literally got this little dress. I was like, whatever.
It works for me.
It works for me.
Yeah, my mom gave us a rule for all of our homecoming and snowball dresses that they couldn't be over $100, which is very, very reasonable. No dress for one night for a dance in high school should be more than
But your prom dress?
But my prom dress was different. My prom dress my senior year was very expensive. Should not have been.
Okay, so in
but
the YouTube video for this, you should do a picture of your.
Oh, I was planning on it. So
Okay,
you send them to me.
No, oh my gosh, mine are so bad. Haley's look so good.
I know. I know they look good. No, I love both of my dresses.
They're really
like
pretty.
equally. I mean, I've liked all of my dresses, and looking back at some of my freshman and sophomore ones, I'm like, yikes. My prom dresses, I still am in love with.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, if I could wear them again, I totally would.
Next episode, we're wearing prom dresses.
We should just bring them out. Yeah. So, did you have a date for any of them?
So my military ball, I went with like a friend, and then honestly, my senior prom and my junior prom, I went with a really good friend, like my best guy friend, I guess.
Yeah.
I went with him for both, and then honestly, I never in high school had like a boyfriend.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So we always went with like a group of friends.
Yeah, my freshman year, I went with a friend. My sophomore year of homecoming was the first time I got asked to a dance. So my friend, my one friend asked me and we went together, and then I asked him and another one of our mutual friends to go to snowball with me. So we went, and then my junior year, I went with friends. My junior snowball, I asked one of my really good guy friends to go with me, and then my last 4 dances, I went with my best friend.
Okay.
So we went to all 4 together.
Aww.
Yeah.
So cute.
Love him.
Aww.
So yeah, it was like, but the dates for like the proposals for all of these, such a huge deal.
Oh my gosh, really?
Like to get videos or like posters and then post them later.
I think that's one of the biggest difference between like my school experience and your school experience. Like I didn't feel pressured to like, I mean, I felt pressure. You're in high school, you want to fit in, obviously.
Absolutely.
But I feel like social media just adds to that.
Oh yeah, like everything needed to be captured.
Yeah.
And posted.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, look at what I got. Like, I would post. I got my junior prom dress in January because I found it. I fell in love with it. Prom wasn't until May.
Oh my god.
But I found it. I fell in love with it. I posted it so no one else would get my dress.
See, that's crazy.
That was a thing. Like girls would post their dresses,
so
and
no
be
one
like,
would get it.
So no one else would get.
So
the
then, if
dress.
someone was wearing the same dress as you, you could be like, "I posted my picture." Like, that's insane.
I had the same dress as someone for snowball my junior year. It was some sophomore, and I got pissed. Like I was so upset. I was like, but I didn't post it anywhere. But I was like so upset. I was like, oh my god, she has the same dress as me.
Yeah, I feel like for me, like if one of the girls like we went to school with and was wearing the same dress, we'd be like, yeah.
Right, and you go over and like take a picture.
Yeah,
of
I'd be like,
them. Yeah.
Twinny.
I'd be like, I was upset. I was
Oh
like,
my
I can't
gosh,
believe she has the same
I
dress.
can't
as me.
imagine you.
Like
acting
I
like
know,
that
but because
now.
like now I'd be like, oh my god, we're twins.
Girl, we got good taste.
Well, we can go to work together. We're like, oh my god.
Are we matching?
But at the time, you did not want to like. You wanted to be special and different.
Yeah.
So if someone had the same dress as you, it was like
make you salty.
So going along with social media, for me, how was the drama in your school?
Honestly, okay, so I don't remember experiencing drama myself, but like if someone had drama, it was like dealt with in the bathrooms and changing rooms and lockers and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't remember there ever being like online beef unless someone like said something on like MySpace, but I don't remember that being a huge thing. Like cyberbullying, like I'm sure was bad for you.
It was huge. I got cyberbullied.
Yeah, I didn't mean like for you.
No, but
yeah.
like it was so big.
Yeah.
Like I got cyberbullied my sophomore year of high school. It was very, very difficult and hard. It's not a big deal for me now. I don't care. But at the time,
I'm sure
it was harsh. Another big thing for us were Twitter fights.
Oh yeah, so no, that was not a thing.
Huge.
I could see that escalating very quickly.
So bad. It got so bad.
That's nuts.
So everything would just get like floated around, but with fighting, like fist fighting, it would happen like just in the middle of everything. Like in the middle of the hallway. We obviously probably had fights in the bathroom, but I would just see them in the middle of the hallway. One of my friends had to break up one once. In the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
It's like a huge one. Sounds so cliche, like maybe in the parking lot. Like, grow up. But, yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And the whole like screenshots and.
I just feel like social media is just, it's so good to have because you're like more like connected with people, but it's also like it's not good.
Oh yeah, like
because you're too connected with people.
I would have this kid like DM me on my Instagram saying that like I look ugly or like fat in my pictures. I was a small kid, like I was little.
Oh my, people are jerks.
So and it was just like because he was being a like.
That's the issue too when
Rude,
you're like behind something and like just typing it, you're a lot more braver.
Yep.
Ah, girl.
I was like, especially with these like Twitter fights, I was like, could you guys actually have this conversation like in front of people?
No.
Right.
I doubt it.
Do you remember like a big scandal? Like the biggest scandal that you had?
Oh my gosh.
One.
Oh my god, tell me yours, 'cause I don't really
Okay.
remember.
So this was my sophomore year of high school. It had to do with kids in my grade. This is still talked about from
what happened?
From seniors. My sister was a senior this year, and they still talk about it. So we had these two kids get up on a table in the cafeteria before school started. It was before school started. I had just walked in, like I had just gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
They got on the table. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. And they started like screaming because somebody kept stealing their mailbox. And they were like, whoever keeps like stealing our mailbox
From home?
Yeah, like their home mailbox. They kept like getting the top of it.
What?
Like this was a big deal.
Why?
Yeah. So they were like, whoever keeps stealing our mailbox, just know like we'll find you and we'll like beat your ass and like things like that. And like it was like a big thing. Like they got up on, and everyone was just like, what in the world is going on? And to this day, people that I went to school with still talk about it.
The mailbox.
Mm-hmm. The mailbox incident of 2017.
That is crazy.
Oh yeah,
that is so random.
Yeah, it was a pair of twins.
So did they keep getting their mailbox stolen after that?
They found out it was one of their friends that kept that was stealing it.
See, they can't do that now because we have cameras everywhere.
Exactly. I was like, jeez. But that was like a big deal. They were like, it was talked about all day. Like, did you see that those kids got up on the table and was talking about their mailbox? Like, for at least 2 weeks. It was brought up at they stopped going to our school shortly after. Our salutatorian brought it up in her speech at graduation.
No way!
Because most of the parents and even like our administration, because we got new administration from then, didn't know about it. So all of us are like cracking up, sitting there because we know exactly what she's talking about, and everyone else is like, what?
Like, what's going on?
What?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So that was like the biggest. I mean, we had others, but that was like the biggest, funniest one.
That is really funny. It's so random.
So random. Like, I don't understand.
So random.
Yeah. Do you have one?
I don't remember anything crazy like that. Just typical stuff.
Right?
Like
normal.
yeah, like no
Normal
one's
stuff.
mailbox got stolen. I remember there was like a big thing. Like we had back stairs, and I remember like someone said that someone had like hooked up back there, and that's the only thing like really.
I actually don't know.
Oh, do you?
Because of that, yeah.
Okay, that's honestly like, and obviously when people get pregnant in high school, but I don't know, like that's typical like high school stuff,
Yeah.
high school drama, nothing crazy.
We had these bathrooms in the back of our school, and they were like locked for the longest time, and they got unlocked my sophomore year of high school, I want to say, and people kept
Going in there.
vaping in sex back there.
Oh god.
So then they had to close them back again. I was like, guys. It's like nobody ever went back there to actually pee.
I really had to go.
Yeah, I was like, this was
And now I
closest
can't.
one
Jerks.
to some of my classes. Yeah. So, high school. I can't. But were you in clubs?
No.
You weren't in any clubs?
I wasn't in any
Or
clubs.
like activities?
No after school activities. As soon as I could work, I worked.
I'm definitely the opposite. I was in choir from 7th grade to senior year.
Dang.
And then my last 2 years of high school, I was in an a cappella group. So I had...
You're just a born singer.
I was in 3 to 4 concerts a year. And then we went about an hour away to a school and performed with a bunch of other a cappella groups. They're like, it wasn't a competition, but it was...
It felt
it
like
was
a
like
competition, yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't get ranked, like, placed from, like,
It was
first,
more of
second,
like we were
third.
better than you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got, like, a grade, I guess.
Okay.
So, like, for how good you did. So we had that. And then I was also on the dance team for 3 years.
You busy girl.
I didn't do it my senior year because I didn't like the coach.
The only time I did like anything after school was for dance class, and like if we had a show or I'm trying to think what else. Honestly, that's it. Like unless it was dance, I didn't do it. Oh, this one time I was a leaf in Winnie the Pooh.
That is so cute.
I was a leaf in the school play.
Oh.
But other than that, like I didn't do anything.
Oh, I love
God,
that.
you were like busy.
I wasn't though, because I didn't do like any sports. Dance team was only for basketball season, and we only danced at like half of the home games.
Okay.
And yeah, I danced from the time I was 3 at a studio, from the time I was 3 until 8th grade. When I got into high school, I stopped dancing with classes, and I was just on the dance team for those last 3 years. And then my senior year, I decided not to do it. Yeah, but with choir, since I was in that a cappella group, we had other small performances that we would get taken out of school to go do, which was great. I loved getting taken out of school.
You're like excellent.
But like we had a fall concert that we would sing with the the middle school. So they would do their little concert, and then we would come in and sing our songs. And then we had a fall concert. We had like 5 or 6 Christmas concerts, and then Tiffin, which is the one where we went and performed, and then a spring concert. And then I sang with the other a cappella group at graduation.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a singer, you. She's a performer.
We had 2 a cappella groups in high school. I was in the not as good one.
I remember you telling me that.
But I was still in an a cappella group.
I was in the bad group, but I was still in it.
But it wasn't concert choir. But yeah.
So fun.
I really loved being in choir. I was also the super, super supportive friend in high school. So I had multiple friends in the musical.
So you would go to everything.
I went to everything. I went to soccer games, football games, basketball games.
You're such a good friend.
2 of my really good girlfriends played basketball. They were on the varsity basketball team. So I went to every single game that I could and watched them. My best friend and a couple other friends were in the musical, so I went to the musical. They were also in band, so I went to a few band competitions. Like I went to a wrestling tournament. I went to a track meet. Like I did everything. And you know what? I didn't win most school spirit.
Were you
some other girl
salty?
that didn't go to anything won most school spirit.
Wow.
Because she went to one football game and was the most annoying person there. But I went to
cheated.
everything.
You got cheated.
I am still mad about that 3 years later, and I am still so mad about that because I went to everything. Nobody cared because I didn't play sport, like an actual sport.
You didn't have time to play sport. You were too busy supporting everyone.
I was too busy going to everything else.
That is insane. Dude.
Like I watched, like we won our first playoff game for football ever. So we like made school history. I was there for that. The band got like won at the state competition. I don't know band things, but I was there for that. I went to everything. I was definitely involved. I didn't like going to school, but I liked going to everything afterwards. I liked getting dressed up in the theme and, you know, putting the face paint on my face or like doing those like little stupid dots that they do. I did that all the time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I loved. That was my favorite part. I'm getting like memories.
Are you like,
come up on my Snapchat? I'm
like such a good time.
I'm like, dang.
My school spirit was like a 0.
Yeah, I just recently went back to my high school.
Oh yeah.
And I went to a football game because my neighbor plays on varsity, so I went to a football game and I was sitting there and I was like looking over at the student section and I was like, wow, they have no respect for it. It's just so weird, kids now versus it's even like 3 years.
I was like,
it's like a huge difference. It's crazy to me.
That's
like it's so different.
You just wait till you go back in 10 years.
I don't want to go back. Maybe go back when my last neighbor is a senior. Maybe.
There you go. Maybe.
If some of my favorite teachers are still there. Well, with all the school shootings, I was in 7th grade when they came out. So with my school now, they don't let anyone in anymore to go visit.
Oh,
because they don't know. Because anybody, when I used to be like in elementary school, graduates or like alumni could just come in and, you know, like visit with their teachers, look around and just walk around if they had a visitor's pass. Now I can't even go to see some of my teachers that I used to have because like you need to have a probable reason for coming into the school.
That's crazy.
Which sucks because I really, really liked 2 of my teachers a lot and I'm never going to be able to see them again.
Oh, you gotta find them on Facebook.
I do have them on Facebook.
Okay, there you go.
But I'm glad that I had my whole high school experience documented.
That's pretty cool.
So I could go back and be like, oh, like this is what I was doing like 5 years ago today. I just had one earlier today, like 3 years ago. I was like at school, like at lunch with one of my good friends, and we had just like took a picture like at lunch together, and I was like, wow. Now I'm moved out of the state, and I could see how far that I've come. So I think with that point of social media is good, but I wish I kind of would have had a little bit less. So maybe I could have focused more on school and not how many, you know, like likes I got on Instagram. Because that was a big thing too. So high school. Yeah.
Good experience. Wouldn't go back.
Wouldn't go back, but I'm glad that I actually
now that I'm 32, I'm like, hell yeah, I'd go back.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
right?
easy to say now because then I would probably enjoy it more and not be counting down the days to finish.
Absolutely. If you're in high school watching this, it flies. Like it flies by. I know you hate it now, but like when you're like 3 years, 14 years from now, doing, you know, like adult stuff like taxes and credit card debt.
Just debt.
Just debt.
Dan and I will drive by because like I drive by like my high school to go to work a lot of times, and I'm just like, God, like
those were the days.
I just want to run in there and be like, enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. Don't take it for granted, but
no.
Like, also, when it's over, you get that huge like sense of relief too. Like,
see, okay, now that you're talking about your high school experience, I wish that I didn't work so early, and I wish I did all those things that you did.
More. Yeah, because I didn't work my entire high school. It's like
I felt like, I mean, now looking back, I'm like, I'm still fucking working, so I'm like, why did I get started so early?
Yeah, like that was my thing. I was like, I want to enjoy high school. Now, when I moved out, I did not have a zero amount of money. I had no money. Absolutely not.
I mean, me neither.
But I got all the experiences that I wanted out
And
of
that
high school.
is priceless.
And that's in high school. Yeah, I did enjoy it, but I'm also super glad to not be in school, especially right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm
like,
very grateful for that I graduated when I did.
Could you imagine like talking to someone like now and like trying to figure out their school experience with COVID?
Yeah.
So that's like a
these
whole different, which is crazy because like if they're very young, like this is like normal.
This is what they know.
Yeah, that's all they know.
But like being like a junior or like a senior or like a senior last year, I had just missed it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so mine was normal.
I couldn't imagine like ending my senior year how it ended. Like,
oh, I would be
when everything first
crushed,
started.
like not getting to have like a prom, an actual graduation with like everyone that you've gone to school with from kindergarten up until now. Like I could not imagine not being able to finish it.
that sucks.
Yeah, because I can't.
Oh.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
Oh.
But I think that's all we
Okay.
have for today. For Millennial versus Gen Z.
Where's Gen Z?
So, if you liked it, make sure to subscribe. We're on YouTube, and then you can also find us on, Spotify and anything else that you listen to podcasts on. And then follow both of our socials. Mine is Hailey_Stoll on Instagram.
Mine is Bailey Whaley on Instagram.
And then make sure to follow our podcast too, Hailey.Bailey00 on Instagram as well.
I need to post on there.
We'll get better at posting on there, but yeah.
Just give me a second.
Right? Yeah, but thanks for watching, and we will see you guys
Bye.
next